Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, The Influencer and Affiliate Formula, Growing Your Reach, Community, and Revenue with a Full Funnel Approach to Partnerships. Today, we'll explore why and how leading brands are prioritizing partnership marketing in 2024 and beyond, and why a full funnel approach that combines influencers and affiliates is critical for marketing performance. Before we start, a few housekeeping notes to ensure you have the best experience during our time together. At the bottom of your screen, you'll find application widgets for your use. These widgets are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them to optimize your desktop space. We encourage you to submit questions at any time using the Q&A widget. Our speakers will answer questions at the end of the webcast, but if we run out of time or if a fuller answer is needed, you'll receive an answer via email. And I'd like to introduce our host, Jonathan Clayton. John is the Chief Strategist for Acceleration Partners, a partnership marketing agency. And John will be leading our panel discussion today. John, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Our speakers today will share how they're leveraging a joint influencer and affiliate strategy to grow their brand's reach, revenue, and rapport with consumers. So let's go ahead and meet them. First up, we have Alexis Ginsberg, who has served in various e-commerce leadership roles for the past decade, developing, activating, and evaluating full funnel digital strategies. She currently serves as the e-commerce lead for PepsiCo. Next up, we have Lydia Perrin, who's a digital marketing and performance media expert. She currently assists in the running of the affiliate marketing at B&Q, leading home improvement retailer in the UK. And finally, we have Christy Garcia, who's the Chief Marketing Officer at Impact.com, an affiliate, influencer, and referral platform driving billions of transactions for brands. In previous roles, Christy spent nearly 2 decades in global B2B marketing roles. So Alexis, Lydia, and Christy, thank you so much for your time today. First off, first question, we know it's getting tougher for brands to capture consumers' attention and earn their dollars on digital channels. Christy, we'll start with you. Can you speak to some challenges threatening marketing investments as we head into 2025?
So many challenges, John. 3 in 4 CMOs report that they've been asked to do more with less. 86% say they're under pressure to make significant changes to achieve sustainable results. Shrinking budgets, right? We know that marketing has had a hard run in the past couple of years, and customer acquisition costs have risen 222% in the last few years. There's also this over-reliance on Facebook and Google, right? It's where most of the marketing dollars are going, and it's been growing more expensive and less effective as consumers are really turning away from advertisements. There's pressures to innovate, right? We always have these pressures to innovate, keep up with shifting buyer behaviors, managing disconnected functions, strategies, stages within the sales funnel, making sure all of our data connects. And there's an ongoing pressure in marketing to prove return on investment. So I think all of these things together really kind of give major challenges to marketing leaders all over the world on how they're going to grow their consumer base and reach these customers.
Yeah, I think we've seen the same thing at Acceleration Partners. I mean, I think we went through a few years of sort of unlimited budgets and really not many checks on where investments were going. And now I think we've shifted into a very different market in a different era where really brands are being scrutinized for where they're spending and investing, and really having to show that ROI and show that it's making that positive return. And it's a very different environment than what it looked like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So we're certainly seeing it on our side across our client portfolios as well. So how are marketers countering these obstacles? Like, what do best practices look like today?
Yeah, so the truth is consumers are not interested in ads, as I mentioned, or brand messaging. They're researching more before buying. They're seeking recommendations from those they trust, their favorite influencers, their favorite publisher sites, communities, friends and family, right? And so many marketers are trying to reach these consumers, but they're operating with like an incomplete funnel strategy, which is a bit like fishing with a torn net, right? They're struggling to build trust, which is why leveraging partners, their audiences already know, like, and trust is so effective. So how do you partner with an influencer? How do you partner with a publisher? How do you partner with communities so that you are everywhere where your consumer is looking for those recommendations? And I think that's where influencers and affiliates really come in. Historically, we've thought about influencers as top of funnel. They're the introducers. They're showcasing a brand or a product for the first time to their audience. And historically, we've thought of affiliates as the bottom of funnel converting. They know how to convert their audience into buyers. And so the two kind of didn't meet. But what we're seeing now is this convergence where influencers through technology, through these different shops on these social platforms and through like links and codes, they're actually converting their audience into buyers. So they're acting as almost the bottom of funnel. And affiliates, because the consumer journey is no longer linear, affiliates are oftentimes introducing, like you might go to Google, top 10 gifts for a new mom and run into a listicle that has all these great products. That might be the first time you hear about a new product. So you never really know where in the funnel these partners are going to be participating. And that's why it's important to be working with both different types. They overlap, but working together, really you can meet customers in their buying journey across the funnel, no matter what stage they're in.
Yeah, I like that. And I think we continue to advise our clients that both affiliates and influencers, instead of being top of funnel or bottom of funnel or middle funnel, like they're full funnel, right? And depending on how you leverage them, they can really operate in any sort of stage of that buying journey. And that's what makes them such valuable partners. Right. Lydia, going to you next, the convergence of affiliate and influencer marketing that Christy has described, does it reflect your experience and what you're doing at B&Q?
Yeah, from experience, I can say it definitely does. So just for a little bit of context for us at B&Q, we launched our creator program around 3.5 years ago, and we wanted to merge what we've traditionally called affiliate and influencer marketing. So with our creator strategy, we wanted to almost mirror the same KPIs that we already had in place for our affiliate program. So we wanted to strongly focus on overall ROAS, as well as revenue and that web traffic. We still wanted to incorporate awareness and engagement because they are so important within both affiliate and influencer marketing. But we definitely wanted our KPIs to be led, as mentioned, around that kind of ROAS and revenue focus. We found and are continuing to find that blending both creator and affiliate strengths gives us almost the best chance to nudge our customers along that sales funnel and essentially make those purchases that can be attributed back to us and our channel. So we're finding it's been working really well within the last 3 years.
That's great. Alexis, what's your take?
Yeah, thanks, John. I think, for us at PepsiCo, we're in a little bit of a different place. So we definitely leaned more in the traditional affiliates space. To Christy's point, really thinking about those channels, those partners as conversion drivers, right? But I think now we're starting to see, echoing, what Lydia said, is that influencers and affiliates are working together, right? And we're just amplifying that reach and scale when we find those connections and we drive that synergy between the traditional affiliates at the bottom of the funnel and maybe these influencers that are now starting to be a bit more full funnel. So definitely starting to see those worlds merge.
Yeah, and I would add that the cost of customer acquisition can be dramatically lowered through a holistic affiliate and influencer strategy just because of the payment model, right? Affiliate marketing is known for a cost per acquisition CPA model where you're only paying once a sale has been made. And I can say if all of my marketing channels work that way, I would be a very happy marketer. But it definitely can save a lot of money. It's a low risk environment. One of our client brands, Maison de Parfum, comes to mind. They've more than tripled their return on ad spend. Our research shows purchasing decisions are heavily swayed by influencers. For 63% of consumers are swayed by influencers, which makes partnership marketing a very worthwhile investment. And again, a way to very, very much lower your customer acquisition costs.
Got it. So why aren't more marketers doing this? Like, what are some of the common tipping points or misconceptions that keep them from investing in this sort of holistic affiliate and influencer strategy?
It's been a thorn in my side for the past, 15 years that I've been in the space, but a very long-standing misconception of affiliate marketing is that it's a bottom feeder. It steals from other channels. It doesn't provide any incremental sales, right? People claim if there's potentially a coupon code on the checkout that people will go look for that coupon before purchasing when maybe they would have made the purchase anyway, right? That's a common misconception. We've seen that that's actually incremental, but it's very hard to dispel this myth. In reality, we're talking about strategic partnerships. We're talking about affiliates that include influencers. We're talking about partnering with other businesses charity organizations, anyone you want to partner with. And it's not a bottom feeder channel, as we mentioned, it's sort of full funnel at this point. But as marketers converge influencer and affiliate strategies, they're beginning to see both as proven touch points for conversions. I'm curious to hear from Lydia and Alexis, who are doing this day to day. Does that ring true for you?
Yeah, very much so. But from the different tests we've run and the different partners we've worked with, we have definitely been able to prove that we drive incremental sales for our business. And just going back to kind of the original question about different misconceptions, I definitely think that still rings true within the creator space. But how we're starting to overcome them, and a really good example from us as a business is last year we had a creator go semi-viral with some content she worked on with us, and as a result it ended up completely selling out one of our vases. This definitely got the attention around the business. I was definitely getting contacted from various different teams who were taking a real interest in the work we were doing in the creator program. And, off the back of that, we've really been able to capitalize off of it in terms of working with different channels. So they're starting to prioritize creator content within their plans, which has been fantastic. And, for us, it's really ramped up in terms of budget increases and also being able to continue to honor those KPIs within our activity.
Absolutely, and I'll jump in here as well. Yeah, I think I would definitely agree with both what the ladies said. For us, really leaning on the data has helped sort of overcome this misconception around attribution as it relates to affiliate, right? How do we really prove the incrementality out? And I think Christy really hit the nail on the head. Is how do we drive new customers through these channels, and how do we prove out our customer acquisition cost being more effective, potentially, hopefully, when we leverage affiliates and influencers. I think for us, we're slowly dipping our toes into this influencer space. And so the reason for that is just because of our brands. We have really iconic brands that are incredibly important, not only to us and our business, but to consumers. And so we really want to make sure we're picking the right influencers, the right content plays that align with our brands, with our values, and with what's important to consumers. So, for example, SodaStream has been running an affiliate program for quite some time, since 2017. So a bit more mature program, really working with those coupon sites, those loyalty sites, and we're starting to see that retention kind of trickle through the data, right? So driving new customers, but also leveraging affiliate to drive them back and drive repeat purchases. Whereas on the flip side, Gatorade.com is a newer D2C platform for us and a newer affiliate program. And so we're working with Impact to kind of build and ramp gradually, tapping both the traditional affiliates, right, but also starting to think through collaborations and creator campaigns as well. But yeah, I would say, just to go back to Christy's remarks, in terms of full funnel, as we sort of sweat the data and really make sure we're making data-driven decisions, we're starting to see affiliate play more of a full funnel role. So not only just driving, conversions, but also playing an assist role, meaning that, they could be entering the consumer journey earlier and earlier, driving discovery, driving browsing. And so, this might be more of a full funnel play than any of us initially thought.
Great feedback, everyone. So what guidance do you have for our viewers in terms of building an influencer and affiliate marketing program, or potentially piloting a program? Maybe Lydia, we can go to you first. What's your take on that?
Yeah, sure. So I think kind of at the forefront, you need to be really clear on both budgets and your KPIs. So I briefly touched on ours earlier, being around kind of overall ROAS. So I think those are really key for making sure you're starting your strategy from the right point. I would also say to clarify the criteria of partners you want to work with. So whether that be specific creators you want to go after, or looking a little bit more into the affiliate side if you want to go after cashback or loyalty partners. I definitely say it's helpful to have a platform in place that can support you with this. So we work with Impact.com. They are able to put you in touch with many different partners. They have a lot of connections. And then on more of the creator side, They have a marketplace tool and both an extended search tool. So you can filter by all of your different criteria needs and find creators that would suit your strategy or specific campaign. And then just kind of speaking of the tech side, I think make sure you have a tool that allows you to both track and report on performance, as that's going to be, especially at the beginning of a program, so important to continuously be able to report back on performance, and make sure you have one that is both accurate and allows you to pull that data really easily.
Awesome. And what would you add, Alexis or Christy?
Definitely. Yeah, I think, the tracking and reporting is big for any channel, but especially for affiliate, right? When we're talking about proving out incrementality and proving added value. I think Lydia touched on this, but Impact is a great tool to be able to see all of your campaigns in one place, pulling reporting across both and trying to drive those insights and actionable optimizations. And for us, we really let the data kind of drive our decision making. We're sweating the numbers every day, making sure, we're sharing our wins, what's working and what's not internally to really make sure we're driving that accountability and that trust.
Yeah, I respect that. I think that's a really smart way to go about it, Alexis. And I would also add that mapping your consumer touch points, right? I mentioned that customers are seeking recommendations across many different sites and people, but understanding where they're actually going can help you, and understanding what's drawing them to convert can really help you identify opportunities for affiliate and influencer campaigns. If you don't know where your customer is coming from, you won't know the right people to partner with. So it's really important to look at that. But as far as the tech piece, thank you for saying such nice things about our platform. I'd also recommend an all-in-one tool that helps you manage all aspects of your campaigns, starting with the discovery of influencers and affiliates, managing those relationships, measuring the results, and helping to eliminate silos between the different teams, the affiliate team, influencer, e-commerce, and all the other marketing teams that you might have in your organization.
Wonderful. Any last words to help our viewers discern next steps before we get into audience questions?
Yeah, I just want to point something out because it sounds like the channel is too good to be true, and it is in a lot of ways, but affiliate and influencer marketing isn't a passive channel. You have to be actively engaged. It's a relationship-driven business. It's not a set it and forget it type of program. It's not coin operated, as we say. You can't put $1 in and expect to get $3 out. But if you dedicate resources to it and really treat it like a channel, like you would sales or marketing, you will see returns. One of our clients, IG Group, saw a jump in ROI of 223%. And 128% increase in productive affiliates after joining our platform. We've actually seen our customers drive up to 28% of their overall company revenue, not marketing sourced revenue, but their total company revenue. And it came through affiliate influencer marketing if you invest in it like a real channel.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you, Christy, Alexis, and Lydia. We're kind of nearing the end of our time, and I want to answer some of the questions that have been submitted by the audience. Annie, I'm going to toss it back to you for the Q&A to lead us on that.
All right. Thank you, John. And thanks to our viewers. We got a ton of questions in. And again, if we run out of time and we don't get to your question now, we will be sure to deliver an answer via email. All right. So one of the questions that came in, someone wants to know, can you walk us through a sample influencer and affiliate campaign? Like, what might that look like? I don't know who wants to take that. Lydia, do you want to start with that one?
Sure. Yeah, definitely happy to jump in on that. So I can give an example from us as a retailer. So we have quite a few different events and promotions running through the year. And one particular one we worked on this year was focused on a new event that we were running. So with that, and kind of from the offset, we wanted to make sure we were really clear on what our budgets were, our strategy. So we really wanted to merge kind of the affiliate and influencer space. So we wanted to focus on driving engagement and awareness of this offer, as well as convert sales. So with this, we ended up working with 3 creators on 4 different pieces of content. So it was a mix of different deliverables, so story frames. We had real content as well. And with that, we really tried to make sure we were combining all of the different KPIs. So you've got to be really clear on what your strategy is. So for us, we wanted to make sure that there was links included in story frames because we wanted to ultimately drive traffic to our website and convert. And then also that there was plenty of information about this offer and why we were doing it, because we wanted to raise awareness and make sure that the audience were engaged with the content. I think it's also really worth considering, and this is something that we put into this campaign, making sure that your content is quite spread out. So for us, this was a 2-week event. So we wanted to make sure that content went live at different times throughout that event to keep the engagement and excitement going. But yeah, like I say, that is very specific to us as a retailer. But I think just being really clear on the content you want to produce, your KPIs, your budget is kind of the real foundations for a influencer and affiliate campaign.
Does anyone else have anything to add on that, or I can move on to another question from the audience?
Sure, I can run us through a quick example from the PEP side. And I think it's a great question just to kind of bring it to life, right? So for Gatorade.com, we have started a new strategy called Drops. And this is, kind of off the back of these smaller brands kind of dropping limited quantity, limited release, limited time offers, products, really unique kind of offerings that are driving urgency and really feel exclusive to consumers. And so we've tapped some of the biggest, athletes, celebrities, stars in the world to really help, harness their fandom, but drive this idea of Gatorade kind of supporting athletes' individuality and creativity together. And so what we're seeing is that by leveraging creators, driving excitement, buzz, and exclusivity around these drops, we're seeing them sell out, quickly. And we're also seeing our customers kind of start to come back and expect the next drop. And so by leveraging creators, we're able to build excitement. And then by leveraging the affiliates, we've been able to kind of drive the sales. So the power of both kind of coming together there.
That's really neat.
Great, thank you. All right, I'm going to move on to another question that came in. Someone would like to know, what are some ways that my team can minimize risks with affiliate and influencer marketing?
I'm happy to dive in. I think.
Sorry.
Oh, John, please go ahead.
I was just going to say, from an agency perspective, and I can give you what we kind of advise clients when we discuss the concept of launching or combining these campaigns. Our general advice is to kind of dip your toes in the waters before you go full bore with large scale budgets and campaigns. And I think it's really easy, especially in the influencer space, to come in and really spend a lot of money very quickly with the budgets that some of these creators demand. And so when we advise clients on how to sort of build and structure campaigns, it's really with a measured approach to come in and do something on a smaller scale first. So we might, look at combining an affiliate and influencer strategy and start, building a roster and a community of creators that we're paying on an affiliate sort of model initially before we start deploying larger fixed fee budgets and doing all the other stuff that creators can do. Because it's very easy to go in and overspend dramatically without really having any sort of data or KPIs to back up and validate what you're doing initially. So, starting small and going slow is a good measured approach that we like to advise clients from an agency perspective.
Did someone have something else to say on that one before I move on?
I think John nailed it. I don't have anything else to add to that. Thank you.
Okay. Great. All right. Someone else would like to know, do any of you share budgets with other marketing teams? How common or viable is budget sharing? I don't know. Lydia, do you want to try that one?
Yeah. So within our business, especially within the marketing teams, I sit in the digital side, but it is quite common. And actually, I really think it encourages that collaborative approach. So we're very honest, for example, if we have budget limitations or perhaps if we can combine budgets to get the most out of a campaign, I think it's really worthwhile doing, or perhaps having an open conversation over budgets. as I mentioned, I think it really does enable that collaborative approach and almost break that silo as well. So for us, it's, like I say, really important within our business.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think, not only between teams, but also across brands. So really taking an enterprise approach and mindset to managing the channels, especially as a multi-brand merchant, right? Making sure that we're leveraging the power of our scale, the power of our holistic investment, not just brand by brand, to make sure we get the most bang for our buck there.
Great, thank you. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Another one that came in, someone would like to know, how do you compensate affiliates and influencers? Are there any best practices that you can point us to?
I can take that one, and I'm sure others would love to chime into this because there's a lot of different opinions on this topic. But affiliate, I mentioned there's a traditional payment model that exists. It's called CPA, cost per acquisition, and you're essentially paying a commission for sales that have been made. So if a partner drives traffic to your website, they convert and they buy a pair of shoes, then you would be paying a portion of that back to the publisher who drove the sale. So that's the most basic definition of it. Influencers are very different. So historically, influencer marketing has been sort of paid by what we call flat fee budgets. So this is, you post a story, I'll give you $5,000. You post this, I'll give you $10,000. And together, this is what the campaign can look like. And the creators are essentially being paid for their content. But now it's actually because brands have fear about that, right? They're not sure if it's actually going to convert or land. So now there's sort of a happy medium, and it's called Post Plus, and it's something that most creators know about and are open to if asked. And it's, so you're giving a flat fee payment for sure. It might be less than $5,000 or the $10,000 option I mentioned, but you're also giving them a potential for evergreen passive income by providing them with a link where their viewers, readers can shop in perpetuity and buy product. This is what's meant by passive income. While you're sleeping, you're earning money because people are reading your story, reading your social post, reading your article, and continuing to buy things off of it. So it's a way for creators to have always on revenue. A lot of times it's a campaign-based channel. So it's rare for a creator to be working every single day of the year. This is a way for them to, between potential jobs with different brands, to continue earning income. So again, it's a newer model, but it's something we're seeing a lot of creators very open to and excited about. Instead of just a traditional flat fee.
Would you guys add anything to that? Yeah, I think what's interesting we've seen as well, I mean, the whole concept there is to mutually align incentives, right? Ultimately, brands, when they're running these campaigns, if they're trying to drive revenue and trying to drive ROI, giving, one, a trackable link that's able to measure that is really important, but then also to sort of encourage those creators to earn those additional compensation dollars through commissions is really valuable. And so whenever that happens, I think creators will end up developing content that is more likely to end up generating revenue and drive performance, right? If they see those dollars coming in. I think what we also see, what's really interesting as well, is when they start seeing the size and the scale of those commissions, we'll end up getting content that's created essentially for free, right? Instead of actually paying for those campaigns to be developed, because creators are able to understand, hey, wow, I made a bunch of money with this piece of content that I created, I'm going to make another one, even though the brand's not paying me to do that, just because I know that there's high potential to earn commissions from it. So it's interesting to sort of see that natural alignment towards those goals, which is something we always look for.
I think I'll just quickly add on that as well, especially looking at the more traditional CPA model. It's quite important, especially if you're starting out and working out strategy, to have a base CPA rate. That way you can kind of have a little bit more control over your budgets. It allows you to have a little bit more leverage when you're negotiating with your partners. And also, if you do look to incorporate the CPA model with creators, it gives them an additional incentive as well. So that's something we strongly work off at B&Q.
Yeah, and I would just build on that Lydia said the keyword, which is negotiate. So, I would say for me and for us over here at PepsiCo, it's all about negotiating and making sure that we're building long-term relationships that are fruitful for both parties, right?
All right. I think we have time for one last question. Someone would like to know, if I want to pilot a campaign as proof of concept, what's a good place to start in developing that campaign?
I can kick us off on this. I think, we talked a lot about setting expectations and aligning on KPIs. So for me, the first step would be, what do we want to achieve with this campaign? What are we looking to drive? What's our goal? And then backing into a strategy from there, right? So if it's about reaching new customers or driving awareness of a new product, like a drop, for example, how do we look to measure that versus a sales driving play or even a full funnel campaign? So making sure that we're thinking through our goals, objectives, and KPIs and how those line up to our, go-to-market strategy. And then making sure that we take everyone along with us on that journey, making sure everyone feels comfortable with our creators, with our vetting process, and ultimately with the content that we go out with.
Yeah, I was going to add that point. It's kind of making sure you're speaking to the right people to get you to that next step, and you're keeping everyone in the loop from the get-go, whether that's different teams who you require support from. I think as long as you keep everyone in the loop from the get-go, it can work as a really nice collaborative campaign.
All right. And that is unfortunately the end of our time together. We don't have time for any more questions. But before we sign off, impact.com has made some resources available to you, including research on how your peers are converging affiliate and influencer programs to help you clarify your own strategy. So on your screen is a link to access an infographic that features some preliminary results of that research and other relevant resources. So keep an eye out for impact.com's research white paper, which will be unveiled in a few days. So today's webinar will be available on demand if you want to review anything or share it with a team member. So thank you again so much to our speakers, and thank you all in the audience for watching. Have a great day.